and gentlemen, if elections were to be held in the Republic of Kenya today, and on the ballot there are two individuals, Ndindi Nyoro and Rigathi Gachagua, who would you pick as your next president? Please let me know your answer in the comment section. Because yesterday, some event took place in Kiharu constituency, which is definitely going to shape the politics of Mount Kenya and Kenya Kwanza in general moving forward. Ndindi Nyoro launched Masomo Bora, Kiharu Masomo Bora, which is one of the most progressive projects I've ever witnessed a member of parliament launch. Let me just give you a brief of this Masomo Bora before we venture into the politics which took place yesterday. According to this project, school fee is 1,000 per term, covering 15,000 learners in all Kiharu 62-day schools. So which means any student from Kiharu constituency who is school going and studying in Kiharu, as a parent, the only amount of money you pay is 1,000, which for me I think is just commitment fee. It covers everything. Then every year, according to this project, Ndindi Nyoro is allocating 100 million from CDF for over 2 years for day schools infrastructure. Basically, what Ndindi Nyoro is trying to say here is that in the next 2 years, it's going to improve the infrastructure of those schools, because probably because of the offer, so many students will prefer to study in Kiharu. So it's going to improve infrastructure, which is laboratory, libraries, classes. Then again, it's going to allocate another 20 million for revision books from Kiharu CDF. So which means books will be available for students. Then apart from that, Uji and lunch in school. Githeri 3 days, rice 3 days, including Saturdays. So it means if you are a student and you're coming from a poor family from Kiharu, then you can just wake up in the morning, go to school, have uji, then have lunch, come back. You know, nowadays, what wanakula only once. Then you can hata usiku without, you can go at night without food. In the morning, you go to school, you get your uji, like that. Then it's saying that 20 schools with enrollment below 100 has all Form 1 fee for term fully paid. Also get free uniforms. Schools with remedials and tuition capped at 1,000 per term. So basically, it's also saying that schools would want to charge parents for remedials. Each student is going to pay for that. I can assure you, what Ndindi Nyoro is trying to do in Kiharu, the impact will be felt in 10 years. Just like in Game constituency, what that former chief did was felt at some point. But politics also took center stage during that particular event. Over 15 members of parliament endorsed Ndindi Nyoro for the presidency in 2023.
Na mimi nataka kukuambia kama mama yako, ukitaka kwenda mbali, tembea na hawa watu. Sisi tunakutaka uende pale tu presidency. Mimi hata nishakubali. Penye generation inaenda, tupige left, tupige right. We have our next president hapa mwenye Ndindi Nyoro. Upende usipende. Hata kwa picha ukiweka tu hivi, wamama saa zingine tunapigia mtu kura kwa sababu ya picha inafurahisha. Si picha yake iko sawa.
Tushikilie huyu kiongozi wetu, kwa sababu hapa Mount Kenya region hatuna kiongozi ambaye anaweza tuongoza vizuri. Na sasa ule yako saa hii ni dede. We as many as of the similar opinion say aye.
Lakini sisi tunamtambua Ndindi Nyoro kiongozi wetu. Sisi tunamuombea, tunamshikilia na tunajua kwamba ndoto aliyokuwa nayo marehemu Stanley Jindo Matiba, Mwenyezi Mungu yuaja kuitimiza kupitia kwa kijana Ndindi Nyoro.
Ndindi Nyoro one day. Ukiendelea namna hii na kuunganisha sisi wote tunaungana hapa. Sababu hatuna siri. you will be the president of the department.
In this video, I want us to look at the political implication of that move to declare Ndindi Nyoro the preferred UDA presidential candidate in 2023. Because if you ask me, those 15 MPs were actually delivering William Ruto's message to Rigathi Gachagua. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to also thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. And of course, today is Friday. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this question, because I asked it previously. If you were to be given a choice between Ndindi Nyoro and Rigathi Gachagua, who would you pick as your preferred presidential candidate? Now, let me confine it to the mountain. Who do you think between Ndindi Nyoro and Rigathi Gachagua Mount Kenya would actually rally around to succeed William Ruto? Because the way I'm looking at it, the presidency is definitely going to revolve between the Kikuyu and the Kalenjin. And even if it will not succeed, Ruto is going to return a favor by handing it over to another Kikuyu. So do you think Ruto is going to hand it over to Rigathi Gachagua or Ndindi Nyoro? That's exactly what I want us to do in this video. For me, if you ask me, Ndindi Nyoro is going to have a field day, and Rigathi Gachagua is going to be defeated. The truth of the matter is that even the way Rigathi Gachagua was appointed in the last election tells you he was not the preferred candidate, but fate just favored him. I'm saying this because, number one, Ruto actually prefers Ndindi Nyoro to Rigathi Gachagua. I'm saying this because if you look at the history of William Ruto and Ndindi Nyoro, and you compare to the history of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, you will easily conclude that Ruto would definitely prefer Ndindi Nyoro. And there are several evidence to prove that. When William Ruto wanted to settle for his running mate in the last election, the choices were two. Majority of Kenya Kwanza leaders actually preferred Professor Kithure Kindiki. But Rigathi Gachagua forcefully took over because he threatened to go and support Raila. And of course, he also has deep pocket. And of course, William Ruto was also looking at other factors. Someone who would easily fight Uhuru Kenyatta, because that was the main thing. So Rigathi Gachagua fitted the bill. But I was listening sometimes to that statement which was issued by Kimani Ngunjiri sometimes back. Kimani Ngunjiri reminded, let me just play for you that clip.
Mujua hii siasa mpaka dakika ya mwisho, the president himself appointed Rigathi Gachagua. Na mimi nilikuwa frontline karibu ya hiyo vita. Na nasema hivi, rais mwenyewe akijua ukweli na angetaka asikie hii, na Rigiji alikuweko. Ilikuwa ni mimi na Ndindi Nyoro, bibi ya Gachagua, na Gachagua na president current now. Tulifanya kesi. Mimi nilikuwa mzee, nilikuwa mtu mzima, mpaka nikalia machozi nikitetea Rigiji na Ndindi Nyoro. We cried. Bibi ya Gachagua alilia, mpaka deputy mwenyewe macho yake iliangazia machozi, kwa sababu tulikuwa na mvutano kubwa sana, tutafanya nini. Hatukuchukia Kindiki, lakini tuliona kwa mwelekeo wakati huo ndio tuweza kupata kura zote za milima na tuweza kufunga siasa ambayo ya serikali hiyo ilikuweko kuingia Mount Kenya, tumeiblock na tukafanya namna hiyo. na tukamaliza. Na Rigiji anajua hiyo. Mimi ningeomba kuwe na heshima. Na ningeomba Deputy President, najua unaheshimu president wako ambaye mnafanya kazi nayo kuwa deputy yake. Mimi ningeomba tusikue na maneno ya kurudishania. Itajengwa kwa uzito sana na watu wa magazeti na social media. Rigiji, unajua vile sisi tulifanya kazi, vile tulikutetea, vile tulifanya kazi kubwa. Today mimi na Ndindi Nyoro ulituweka nje. We have no problem with that. But the period comes Kenyans. Kenya kwanza, mambo ingine baadaye.
Now from that clip, it is clear that when William Ruto was making the decision on Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ngujiri was there as an elder witness. Ndindi Nyoro was the only other person who was there. Rigathi Gachagua's wife and Rigathi Gachagua and Ruto. Those are how many people? Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ngujiri, Kimani Ngujiri, Rigathi Gachagua, the wife, and Ruto. Only 5 people were present. So it shows that indeed Ruto has some preference with Ndindi Nyoro. And again, if you look at the history of Ruto and Ndindi Nyoro, you'll agree that it's a bit tight. There was a time William Ruto was headed to Uganda on a mission. He was blocked by the government. But who were accompanying William Ruto to Uganda? Ndindi Nyoro and Oscar Sudi. Today in this republic, one of the most powerful individuals around Ruto is none other than Oscar Sudi.
Told us that he has received orders from above for them not to clear the deputy president, that he needed some clearance. We asked from where. No one was able to explain or even tell us from which source we should seek the clearance. We called the relevant people in immigration. They told us, Matiani told them. We contacted the minister. He said he's not the one. Even the Mheshimiwa Kenywa, who is the head of public service, we contacted him because ostensibly they were saying that he needed some clearance from the head of public service.
And of course, Ndindi Nyoro was with Oscar Sudi. And because Ruto prefers Ndindi Nyoro, I don't think Rigathi Gachagua is going to have his way. It's going to be very difficult. Number 2, Rigathi Gachagua's brand of politics. Rigathi Gachagua is not creating friends. Rigathi Gachagua is creating enemies all over. I'm not sure whether Rigathi Gachagua has been able to create a single friend since he was elected as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. On the other side, if you look at Ndindi Nyoro, he's very busy. The other day you saw him in Ukambani, accompanied by Silvanus Osoro, Babu Owino, Jaguar. The other day he was in somewhere in Western Kenya, accompanied by young leaders. You saw yesterday when he was in Kiharu, accompanied by the face of Kenya. Very useful people. Rigathi Gachagua is only praising Ruto and attacking any other person. And of course, even the Kikuyu nation, if they were to choose their kingpin, and that's why Rigathi Gachagua's attempt to become the kingpin is hitting a dead end, because there is no way there is no way you can be hateful and expect the community to front you. The Kikuyu nation would easily front Ndindi Nyoro because they believe that Ndindi Nyoro can at least win the support of the nation compared to Rigathi Gachagua. Number 3, Ndindi Nyoro is also a smart politician. He's using public relations, PR exercises so well. Currently, as much as Rigathi Gachagua is a truthful man talking whatever he's talking about, Ndindi Nyoro made mistakes in the past. When Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and he had just been elected, his blood was motto. So there are certain statements he used to say. But of late, if you have been following Ndindi Nyoro, he's kind of now trying to rebrand himself, creating an image of a national leader. He's no longer just the Ndindi Nyoro who is just talking recklessly. If you compare Ndindi Nyoro to, say, Kimani Ichung'wah, totally different. So I think William Ruto is the one who has advised him to be like that. So that for him, he's being prepared for the national politics, while Kimani Ichung'wah, Rigathi Gachagua are left to fight down there. And of course, age factor, which is my fourth point, also favors Ndindi Nyoro. The truth of the matter is that Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy president today. Even if William Ruto were to be re-elected, and again him, 10 years, I don't think Kenyans will be ready for Rigathi Gachagua presidency. So the Kikuyu nation would rather invest in Ndindi Nyoro, because even if you want to win in 2032, there's a future. Listen to Osoro shortly.
Hii team muiangalie vizuri. Sisi tunataka kusema hatutaki kuangalia kabila, hatutaki kuangalia chama, hatutaki kuangalia mahali mtu ametoka. Tunataka tushikane, tutembee safari moja, tuende. Tukijipanga, nyinyi piga hesabu yenu vizuri. Tunajipanga. Safari si mbali. Si Uhuru alikuwa 2013 na si miaka 10 iliisha, akatoka 2023. Haya 2022. Ni hivyo tu. Sasa hii team tumejipanga. Hata Babu Owino tumejipanga, my friend. Ndio maana unaona Babu tumemleta kuwe hivi, aenda atoe ule mzee, asimamie kwa ile area yake vizuri. Si huyu Babu anatosha akisimamia ile area. Yes, na mimi nitoke kutoka Kisii. Alafu unaona kuna jamaa mwingine mwerevu sana kutoka Central Kenya, chairman wetu wa budget. Tuone vile tutasukuma yeye kabisa na kila mtu, Kenya iendelee mbele.
Tungekuwa na muda tungewapea story mingi yetu. Mkiona mheshimiwa Babu Owino hapa, mkiona Jagua, mkiona Mukoji, mkiniona hapa, sisi sio watu ambao tumetoka pahali kwenye mnatuona sasa. Huyo Jagua alikuwa na pepa kwetu. Hapo tu barabara, kwa sababu Udhaya na Kiharu zinapakana. Huyo Jagua alikuwa anajaza gari hapo kwetu. Mungu amemjalia akakuwa mbunge, yeye ni msanii. Huyu Babu Owino nimeenda kwao nyumbani kijiji yao. Mkimuona amevaa suti imemkubali juzi. Hakuwa hata na pahali ya kuvaa suti. Ilikuwa kama mtu ovyo. Sasa ni mtu anang'ara mpaka na 3 piece. Mkiona hapa mtu kama Dennis Zitumbi amevaa kauda kama ya rais. Yes, babu yake alikuwa alikuwa bishop wa kanisa, yule Bishop Kitari. Lakini kwao wamelewa pia from pale chini zaidi.
Number 5, the truth is Mount Kenya is also going to determine the fate of Ndindi Nyoro and that of Rigathi Gachagua. It's the Mount Kenya who are going to decide. Because first of all, one of them will have to become Mount Kenya kingpin. It's already slipping from the hands of Rigathi Gachagua. Because even someone like the former Kiambu Governor Waititu was very clear that Rigathi is just temporary. So the mountain would again see more hope in Ndindi Nyoro. Lastly, deep pockets. Ndindi Nyoro is a very wealthy man. He's very young. You can't compare Ndindi Nyoro's wealth to that of Rigathi. Rigathi's wealth was made through government deals easily and be traced. In fact, even if Ruto decides to finish him, can just use that. But for Ndindi Nyoro, he's been an investor, in quotes, known for some time. Currently, he's known to be one of the biggest shareholders in Kenya Power. Individual shareholder. How many companies do you think is trying to control? Several. So I know you might not know, but Ndindi Nyoro is one of the wealthiest. In fact, I think is in the billionaires club already at his young age. So which means when it comes to deep pockets, we'll also favor him. So for me, Rigathi Gachagua, fate is sealed. He can only become the deputy president. Thank you, and until next time, Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.